According to a survey by the New York Times, people who have strong family connections report feeling happier, less stressed, and more resilient during difficult times. And yet, maintaining those connections, especially as we get older and busier, is something most of us find surprisingly hard.
That's a really interesting statistic. And I think it's one of those things where you know it's important, but life just gets in the way.
Hello and welcome to Slow Sip English. I'm Sophie, and this is the podcast where two colleagues sit down with their drinks of choice and have a real relaxed conversation in English, perfect for anyone who wants to improve their language skills in a natural, everyday way.
And I'm Tom. Today we're talking about family, what it means, how we stay connected, the differences between cultures, and all the complicated, wonderful, sometimes exhausting stuff that comes with it.
It's one of those topics that everyone can relate to, no matter where you're from, and it's full of really useful vocabulary. So grab your drink, get comfortable, and let's get into it.
So, family, where do we even start? I think the first thing worth saying is that the word family means very different things to different people. For some people, it's parents and siblings. For others, it's a huge extended network of grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, step-parents, half-siblings.
Absolutely. And then there's the idea of chosen family, the close friends who feel more like family than some relatives do. I think that's become a much more common concept, especially for people who've moved away from home or who have complicated family situations.
That really resonates with me. I moved from Chicago to London 5 years ago, and my close friends here have become a kind of second family. We look out for each other in ways that feel very familial.
That's a lovely word, familial. It means relating to or characteristic of a family. And I think that instinct to create those close bonds is really human, isn't it?
Totally. Now, speaking of moving, can we talk about what it's actually like to be far from your family? Because I think that's something a lot of your listeners might relate to, whether they've moved to a new country to study or work.
Yes, let's. How do you find it, Tom, being so far from your family in Chicago?
Honestly, it's something you adapt to over time. In the beginning, it was quite tough. I missed the little things more than I expected. Sunday dinners, watching sport together, just being in the same room as people you love. There's a word for that feeling: homesickness, that deep longing for the familiarity and comfort of home.
And does it get easier?
It does, partly because of technology. Video calls have been a game changer. I have a weekly call with my parents every Sunday, which has become this really lovely ritual. But also partly because you build a new life, and that new life starts to feel like home too.
I think that's such an honest answer. For me, I grew up in Bristol, so I'm not that far from my family geographically. But I think even when you live close by, maintaining those relationships still takes deliberate effort. It's easy to let weeks go by without properly catching up.
That's so true. Physical proximity doesn't automatically mean closeness, does it?
Not at all. I have friends who live 5 minutes from their parents and barely see them. And then there are people like you, thousands of miles away, who make more effort because of the distance.
That's a slightly uncomfortable truth. The distance forces you to be intentional about it. Okay, can we talk about family dynamics? Because I feel like that's where things get really interesting. And by interesting, I mean complicated.
Yes, family dynamics. This phrase refers to the patterns of interaction between family members, the roles people play, the power structures, the unspoken rules. Every family has them.
Every family has a role, right? Like there's always a responsible one, the funny one, the dramatic one.
The peacemaker, the one who always changes the subject when things get tense.
Which one are you, Sophie?
I think I'm probably the organizer, the one who coordinates the Christmas plans 3 months in advance.
Of course you are. Probably the one who shows up and says, "So, what are we doing?" I rely on the organizers of the world.
And we appreciate that, Tom, we really do. What about cultural differences around family? Because coming from America and living in the UK, you must notice some differences.
Definitely. I think Americans tend to be quite expressive about family. There's a lot of I love you and big displays of affection. In my experience, British family culture can be a little more reserved, more showing love through actions than words.
I think that's a fair generalization, though obviously every family is different. There's definitely a British tendency to express care through doing things, making a cup of tea, fixing something, showing up, rather than saying it out loud.
Which is actually very touching once you understand it. I've had British friends' moms offer me food approximately 17 times in one afternoon. I now understand that as love.
That is absolutely love. Now, let's talk about something that comes up a lot around family: expectations. Family can be the most supportive thing in your life, but it can also come with a lot of pressure. Expectations about what you'll do, who you'll be, what path you'll take.
Yes, and I think this is especially true for people who've moved to a new country or who've chosen a very different life from their parents. There can be a tension between honoring your roots and building your own identity.
Exactly. Honoring your roots. That's a beautiful phrase. It means respecting and acknowledging where you come from, your heritage, your traditions, your family's values.
While also being your own person, which isn't always easy.
Not easy at all. But I think most families, at their best, want that for you. They want you to thrive, even if it looks different from what they imagined.
That's a generous way to look at it, and I think it's true most of the time. Okay, shall we go into the vocabulary spotlight?
Before we get to vocabulary, I want to talk about two more things: family traditions, and the thing that I think bonds families together more than anything else: arguments and making up after them.
Yes, both very important. Traditions first. Do you have strong family traditions, Sophie?
We do, actually. Christmas is a big one. We always go to my grand's house. We have the same food every year. We watch the same films. And even though I'm 31 and I've been doing this my whole life, it still feels special. There's something really grounding about rituals that repeat.
I love that. My family in Chicago has Thanksgiving, obviously. That's a huge American tradition. Turkey, too much food, everyone squashed around a table that isn't quite big enough. It's chaotic and wonderful. And honestly, one of the things I miss most about being in London is not being there for it.
You managed to get back for it.
Some years, not always. When I can't, my mom sends me a care package with American snacks, which is the most loving and slightly ridiculous thing. I get a box of Oreos and some peanut butter cups, and I eat them while watching a film by myself.
That might be the most Tom thing I've ever heard, but also genuinely sweet.
I choose to take that as a compliment. What about the family group chat? Because I feel like that's become a modern family tradition in itself.
Oh, the family group chat. It is its own universe, isn't it? Mine is called The Wilsons, and it moves very fast. Mostly my mum sending articles she thinks are interesting, my brother sending memes, and my dad occasionally typing in all caps because he hasn't quite figured out his phone.
That is exactly my family group chat too. My dad recently sent a voice note that was 47 seconds long and just him describing a sandwich he was eating. We were all very supportive.
Love that. It sounds like your dad and my dad would get on very well. Okay, arguments. Because no conversation about family is complete without acknowledging that the people we love most are also the people who can push our buttons the most.
100%. And I think it's because family relationships are the ones where you feel safe enough to be your worst self sometimes. You know they're not going anywhere.
That's such a good point. There's an expression, to push someone's buttons, which means to do or say something that you know will irritate or upset them. And families are very good at knowing exactly which buttons to push.
Very good. Sometimes with remarkable precision. But the flip side of that is the making up. I think one of the most important things families teach us is how to repair relationships, how to say sorry, how to move on, how not to hold grudges.
To hold a grudge, that's a great phrase. It means to continue to feel angry or resentful about something someone did, even a long time after it happened. Some families are very good at holding grudges. Others are better at letting things go.
Mine is firmly in the let it go camp. My family argues, we say what we need to say, and then 20 minutes later, someone makes a joke and it's basically over. I think that's actually been a really healthy model for how I approach conflict in general.
That's a really valuable thing to take from your upbringing. I think the way our families handle conflict shapes us a lot, whether we avoid it, lean into it, how quickly we repair.
Completely. Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. Shall we go into the vocabulary spotlight?
Let's do it. We've used some really rich language today. Let's slow down and look at 6 words and phrases worth remembering.
First, extended family. This refers to family members beyond the immediate household, so grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and so on. In many cultures, the extended family plays a very central role in daily life.
Next, chosen family. This is the idea that family doesn't have to mean blood relatives. Chosen family refers to the close friends or communities we create who provide the love, support, and connection that family traditionally offers.
Then we have homesickness, that deep feeling of longing for home when you're away from it. It's not just about missing a place, it's about missing the people, the routines, the comfort of the familiar.
Family dynamics, the patterns of interaction, roles, and relationships between family members. Every family has its own dynamics, shaped by personality, culture, history, and circumstance.
To honor your roots, to respect and acknowledge where you come from. Your roots include your family, your culture, your traditions, and your upbringing. Honoring them doesn't mean never changing, it means carrying them with you.
And finally, familial. This adjective means relating to or characteristic of a family. You might describe a warm, close-knit group of friends as having a familial bond, or describe someone's behavior as familial when they treat others with the warmth of a family member.
Now it's your turn. Here are 3 questions to think about, discuss, or write about in English.
Question 1. How would you describe your own family? Immediate, extended, or chosen? What roles do different people play?
Question 2. If you've ever lived away from home or family, how did you stay connected? What did you miss most?
And question 3. Are there any family traditions or values that feel particularly important to you? Things you'd want to carry forward or pass on?
Those are great questions. Family is one of those topics you could talk about forever and still have more to say.
It really is. And I hope today's conversation gave you some useful language to talk about it in English, whether that's with your own family, with new friends, or just in your head as you think about what family means to you.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Until next time, call your mom or your dad or whoever it is that makes you feel at home.
Bye for now.